Welcome to the channel where history meets wisdom. If you believe ideas can outlive empires, make sure to subscribe, because today we explore the life of a man who changed how the West understands God, truth, and freedom. This is the story of Baruch Spinoza, the quiet rebel who stood against dogma and, without raising a sword, reshaped Western civilization. In 17th century Europe, religion ruled thought. The Church still carried the memory of Galileo's trial. Heresy could end a life. Yet amid this climate of fear, in the bustling port city of Amsterdam, a young man began to question the absolute certainty of the faith around him. His name was Baruch Spinoza, born in 1632 to Portuguese Jewish refugees who had fled the Inquisition. His parents sought safety and freedom in the Dutch Republic, the most tolerant place of its time, but even tolerance has its limits when someone questions the very foundation of belief. Spinoza's childhood was steeped in study. He mastered Hebrew, read scripture, and absorbed the writings of medieval commentators. Those who taught him expected that he would become a leader of the Jewish community, perhaps even a rabbi. But his mind refused to stop at inherited boundaries. The more he read, the more he asked, if God created everything, then how can anything exist outside God? If the world moves by natural laws, why must miracles be violations of those laws? Are not reason and revelation two sides of the same divine truth? Such questions, innocent to us, were explosive then. They hinted that God and nature might be one and the same, a thought that would later become the center of Spinoza's philosophy. As Spinoza entered his 20s, the merchants of Amsterdam traded goods from every sea, and the presses printed books that would be banned elsewhere. Among them were works by René Descartes, whose bold claim, "I think, therefore I am," made reason the foundation of certainty. Spinoza devoured Descartes' writings and felt liberated. Yet he also sensed the limits of Cartesian dualism. Descartes separated mind from matter. Spinoza wanted unity. He saw division everywhere, between faith and reason, body and soul, God and creation, and he longed to reconcile them through logic rather than authority. But the community that had given him shelter could not tolerate his direction. In 1656, when Spinoza was just 23, the rabbis issued a cherem, a total excommunication. The curse was read publicly: no one was to speak to him, read his writings, or come within 4 cubits of his presence. The synagogue lamps were extinguished as the ban was pronounced. From that moment, Spinoza was spiritually homeless. Most people would have broken, begged forgiveness, or hidden their thoughts. Spinoza did neither. He left Amsterdam quietly, carrying only books, lenses, and a mind determined to follow truth wherever it led. He Latinized his name to Benedictus de Spinoza, a symbolic rebirth into the broader world of European scholarship. He settled in Regensburg and later The Hague, living a simple life polishing optical lenses for microscopes and telescopes. It was delicate, poorly paid work, but it allowed independence. Each day he ground glass until twilight, then wrote by candlelight. His room contained few possessions: a bed, a desk, a few geometric diagrams on the wall. To friends he appeared serene, detached from worldly ambition. Yet within that stillness, he was constructing one of the most radical systems of thought ever produced, the Ethics, a book that would not see publication until after his death because it was too dangerous. The Ethics is not written like an essay but like a work of geometry, definitions, axioms, propositions, proofs. It begins with a claim both shocking and elegant: there is only one substance in the universe, and that substance is God or nature, Deus sive natura. Everything that exists, stars, stones, emotions, and thoughts, are merely modes or expressions of this single infinite reality. There is no creation in time, no divine will acting from above, only an eternal unfolding of necessity. To understand the laws of nature is to understand the mind of God. In one sweep, Spinoza removed the wall between the sacred and the natural. He offered a God not of miracles but of mathematics, not of jealousy or wrath but of perfect order. For him, prayer was not asking for favor but striving to understand. Sin was not disobedience but ignorance. Salvation was not escape from the body but freedom through knowledge. Such ideas, though born of reverence, were seen as atheism. Yet Spinoza was no atheist in the modern sense, he was a mystic of reason. His God was immanent, within all things, not transcendent or personal. The clergy feared that if people believed this, religion would lose authority. And in a way, it did. Spinoza laid the groundwork for secularism by giving morality a foundation independent of revelation. But his philosophy was not cold or mechanical. In the final sections of the Ethics, he wrote about joy, love, and the intellectual love of God. True happiness, he said, comes from understanding the necessity of things. When we realize that everything follows from the nature of the universe, resentment fades. We cease to curse fate and begin to align our minds with reality. Freedom is not the absence of cause, it is understanding why things are as they are. To live like that required immense discipline. Friends described Spinoza as gentle, humble, and patient, but also unshakable. When a fanatic once attacked him with a knife outside a theater, he calmly picked up his torn cloak, stitched the hole, and wrote the Latin word caught, carefully, above his doorway as a reminder. He refused academic posts that demanded religious oaths, turning down wealth for integrity. His daily routine resembled meditation. Morning correspondence, hours of lens grinding, quiet walks, and evenings of reflection. He accepted illness and solitude as natural outcomes of his path. Meanwhile, Europe was boiling. The Dutch Republic, proud of its tolerance, faced political strife and war. Spinoza watched the fall of the De Witt brothers, leaders who had defended freedom, lynched by a mob in 1672. He wept for them, calling it the triumph of ignorance over reason. Yet even in chaos, he never resorted to despair. His calmness became legendary. He also wrote another revolutionary text, the Theological Political Treatise. Here, he argued that scripture should be read historically, not literally, that prophets spoke in the language of their time, that faith concerns obedience and morality, while reason concerns truth. Most provocatively, he declared that a just state must protect freedom of thought. Without it, neither religion nor peace can endure. This treatise was immediately banned across Europe. Critics called it a book forged in hell. Yet its ideas filtered into Enlightenment circles, influencing Locke, Leibniz, and later Voltaire. Modern democracy, with its separation of church and state, owes much to this quiet lens grinder who refused to bow. Spinoza's health, weakened by years of inhaling glass dust, began to fail. On a February morning in 1677, at the age of 44, he died peacefully in The Hague. Friends discovered among his papers the finished Ethics and several incomplete manuscripts. They risked their safety to publish them posthumously. The reaction was fierce: denunciations, burnings, censorship. Yet the ideas could not be buried. Over the next century, they traveled through underground networks of thinkers, resurfacing in the minds of German idealists, French revolutionaries, and modern scientists. His influence. To grasp Spinoza's impact, we must see how his vision penetrated every field of Western thought. In philosophy, he was the bridge between medieval scholasticism and Enlightenment rationalism. Descartes gave reason its method, Spinoza gave it its universe. Later thinkers, from Hegel to Nietzsche, from Einstein to Deleuze, wrestled with his system. Hegel called him the first modern philosopher. Einstein famously said he believed in Spinoza's God, the God of harmony and lawful necessity. In ethics, he transformed morality from a set of divine commands into a science of human nature. Virtue, he said, is power, the power to act according to one's true essence. Evil is not a cosmic force but a lack of understanding. By aligning reason with desire, one attains blessedness. These ideas would later shape secular humanism and psychotherapy. In politics, Spinoza was a defender of democracy long before it was fashionable. He believed that the purpose of the state is not to control minds but to secure the freedom of thinking. When citizens are free to reason, they are least likely to rebel. This insight anticipated liberal constitutionalism and influenced the framers of modern republics. In religion, he offered a new spirituality, one without superstition, yet filled with awe. His pantheism inspired poets like Goethe and philosophers of ecology who see divinity in the natural order. In our age of environmental crisis, Spinoza's idea that nature itself is sacred feels prophetic. In science, his deterministic view prefigured the laws of physics. To Spinoza, everything unfolds with mathematical precision. Though quantum mechanics later challenged strict determinism, his insistence that understanding the structure of reality brings peace remains timeless. The man behind the mind. What makes Spinoza enduring is not only his intellect but his character. He lived what he taught. He sought clarity over comfort, truth over reputation. Despite excommunication and poverty, he never lashed out at his enemies. When people insulted him, he replied with silence or wit. He once wrote, "Hatred can never be good. He who hates another is thereby miserable." His serenity impressed even his opponents. One minister, after meeting him, admitted that though he disagreed with Spinoza's ideas, he had never met a man of purer virtue. Spinoza's calm smile in portraits is not arrogance, it is the stillness of a mind reconciled with the universe. He also anticipated the psychology of emotion. In the Ethics, he analyzed how passions arise from inadequate ideas and how reason can transform them. Love, fear, hope, and sadness, all are natural, but when we understand their causes, they lose their tyranny. Modern cognitive therapy echoes this principle, understanding changes emotion. Practical lessons for modern life. Spinoza's wisdom is not abstract, it's profoundly practical. He teaches us 5 lessons still relevant today. 1. Seek understanding, not control. We can't command the world, but we can comprehend it. Acceptance through understanding frees us from frustration. 2. Transform emotion with reason. When anger or envy arises, trace its cause. The moment you see why it happens, it begins to dissolve. 3. Live simply. Happiness does not depend on possessions. Spinoza's poverty was not misery, it was clarity. In simplicity, thought becomes sharper. 4. Respect freedom of thought. Debate, disagreement, and diversity are not threats, they are the lifeblood of progress. Societies that silence minds destroy themselves. 5. see the divine in everything. Whether you call it God or nature, recognize the unity that connects all existence. This vision breeds compassion for all beings. In a world torn by ideology and noise, these principles are revolutionary. They offer a path beyond fanaticism and despair, a rational spirituality grounded in curiosity and humility. Legacy. By the 18th century, Spinoza's name had transformed from scandal to admiration. Goethe called him the God-intoxicated man. Kant, though disagreeing with his determinism, respected his rigor. Hegel saw in him the dawn of true philosophy. Romantic poets found in his pantheism a language for cosmic love. Even modern neuroscientists quote his insight that the human mind is the idea of the human body. In 1930, when Albert Einstein was asked if he believed in God, he replied, "I believe in Spinoza's God, who reveals himself in the lawful harmony of the world." That single sentence brought Spinoza's thought from the 17th century into the heart of modern science. Today, Spinoza's house in The Hague is a small museum. Visitors walk through the quiet room where he wrote, gaze at the lenses he polished, and feel the presence of a man who turned solitude into illumination. His handwriting, neat and geometric, mirrors the clarity of his logic. The light through the window falls softly, as if filtered through the very glass he once shaped. Why he matters now. In an era dominated by noise, outrage, and division, Spinoza's voice is a whisper of sanity. He reminds us that freedom without understanding is chaos, and faith without reason is blindness. His courage lay not in battle but in contemplation. While others sought power, he sought coherence. To conquer the world, Spinoza would say, is to conquer one's own confusion. To serve God is to understand nature. To be free is to act according to reason. He showed that peace is not a gift from heaven but an achievement of the mind. So when you feel lost in uncertainty, remember the lens grinder of The Hague, the man exiled for thinking too clearly. Ask yourself, as he once did, what if everything around me, every joy, every sorrow, is not against me, but part of me? That question alone can change how you see existence. Baruch Spinoza never founded a school or a sect. He left no disciples, no monuments, no empire. Yet his idea, that God and nature are one, still hums beneath the surface of Western civilization. It shapes our science, our politics, our ethics, and our search for meaning. He proved that thought itself can be divine. Thank you for listening. If you found inspiration in the life of Spinoza, the philosopher who redefined God, remember to subscribe and join us as we uncover more minds that shape the West and the world. Because wisdom never dies, it only waits for us to notice.